So part of why the interns did the potluck was because of this research, right? It wasn't just like, let's have a potluck. It was like, people want community, Wakasa wants community, they want to cook together. How do we make that happen? And I think a lot of what I'm excited about is this report getting published and seeing more amplification so that other campuses do this research also. And then there's other churches, other spaces that can open up for them to utilize it. Because when I think about the Black sororities, they don't have a home on campus. So that means they're not eating together, which means they're not gathering together.
Wow.
So how can we say that there's equitable access for Black sororities if they don't have a home, they aren't sharing food, and they aren't able to build community as easily? So those are the kinds of amplifications that can be made if we say, hey, come to First United, use the church, use the fellowship hall to literally fix the displacement. So that's what I want to say about the land. It's like, we've been displaced and you're saying, come here. So that's super important. All right, I'm gonna introduce you. You're incredible. The work that you do, public health. You don't know what a veggie meter is, but you're gonna find out. So part of what People's Market has been doing in terms of research is inviting the School of Public Health. Nana is a professor there, and they utilize this tool. It's called the veggie meter, and I'll let Nana tell more about it.
Yeah, so first, I'm really humbled after hearing what you both have talked about, because my research, and my name is Nana Gletsu Miller, and I'm faculty in the School of Public Health and the nutrition unit there. My research is I feel like it's so narrow compared to what you guys are doing. I work on the concept that diet leads to health. And so we're studying how like food that you eat impacts your health. And, of course we know that, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So it's that concept that's very well known. But we are trying to learn more about different foods and different diseases and try to understand that better. But it seems so narrow after hearing what you've talked about, that people can get access to food. And people are really, struggling with so many barriers that prevent not just the financial part, but the ability to cook the food or to be able to, share the food together and all these other issues. And that humbles me because yes, we know food impacts health, but what if people can't even eat the food, can't even get the food? Mm-hmm. And then the work you're doing to make sure that you are implementing some of the findings that you all are getting, and even enabling Lauren to distribute the food to people. And again, it just makes me humbled that yes, I'm just in this narrow little section of trying to understand how food impacts health. But I'm also encouraged that I can provide a service to what you guys are doing, because if you can show that you're taking the work that she's done and you are finding ways to address those barriers so that people can get access to the food, I can show that they're healthier. Mm-hmm. And I would love to be able to do more of that partnership, because again, I'm in my little narrow world where we're okay, if you give an avocado a day, you'd see improvement in health. But what does that mean in the real world, where people can't buy avocados, or people can't, cook the avocado in their kitchen? They don't have a kitchen. So partnering with you guys, what you guys are doing, being able to show in any way, if you're be able to provide more access to food, and I'm able to come in and at some point measure before and after that access, and we show that people are healthier, is it possible that we can generate more funding? Is it possible that we can show that impact is so meaningful that your church is going to be even more excited about the work they're doing because you showed that there was a health component to it, that it impacts health? That's where I hopefully can play a role.
Yeah, and you already have, honestly. We already have people coming back to the market trying to beat their score from last time on the veggie meter.
I am measuring people again and again.
Yes.
People are telling me, you measured me before, and I was like, oh wow. So
yeah. And making that connection in a concrete way. So a lot of the incentivize for the interview was getting the money to come and shop. A lot of our incentivization is we deliver it to you. That sets us apart from any other farmer's market.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And even before People's Market was well known, I would say to people, the people we're trying to feed are working and making your brunch every Sunday and Saturday. So how they gonna shop? you go out to brunch every Saturday, right?
Yeah.
Those are the
right.
people we're trying to feed. They've been making your food all morning,
Yeah,
so they
yeah.
can't come shop. Even if the desire is there was absolute like just capitulation from the responsibility of like, well, your convenience food is made by people who cannot shop.
Yeah.
So we have to address that. We have
Yeah.
to make clear that like you can do something about this.
Yeah.
And the redistribution of wealth and redistribution of information is key there. Because sometimes people are avoidant of community meals or eating healthy foods because they don't know all the benefits. When I teach a yoga class, a lot of people just want to come and look fit. And that's cute and I don't mind it, but that's not actually the benefit.
Right.
It's really not. Right?
Yeah, being able to be stronger, right? To stand for longer.
Bone density.
Being able to carry things. Yeah, bone density, preventing osteoporosis later. That's my world. That's what we're doing. We're measuring bone density in people after we give them different diets. So we are really solid on the impact of food on health. But getting access to the food, being able to help people like make the food and even like, teach others how to make the food or enjoy the food with each other. Like, I'm not touching any of that part. So I'm excited that like hopefully like there is a benefit to showing that there's a health component. Like if your person who's making the food for you can stand for longer, right? Or that they, have better vision, or that they are not, sloppy because they're so tired, right? That's a benefit to you, and we can show the health part, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's not just me. We have a whole bunch of researchers that are also doing research on the connection between food and health in like children and adults, older age, all kinds of research is happening at IU campus. And we just need to be able to tell people more about it and show the impact of your programs through the resources that we can use to measure health.
And that's really what agroecology is. Like agroecology is a art form that brings in spirituality, research, and impact measurements, right? And so we use the soil and the food to tell a story. So that's why this panel is so important to me, because it's like each one of these components is telling a story, right?
Yeah.
And that shared story is how community is built. None of us are alone in this. Like that's the part we keep forgetting. We haven't been alone, we aren't gonna be alone, unfortunately. I'm an only child. But like, part of it is realizing that means that there's an asset already here. The land was already here. You didn't go buy extra grass. Like it was already there. The research is already there. I didn't know what a veggie meter is, and yet it was already there. The students were there, hungry to do the research, right? And so when we create this new vision, it's often when you start out farming, I take people on a walk to plant identify. There's already enough food around you just don't see it yet. You think all green is Kelly green, right? And then you start noticing the subtle changes, that you actually have onions in your yard, that there are mushrooms out there, right? That kind of vision, when Jessica was talking earlier about the vision, I think that's what you're saying. That we can see really that micro version. Some of us are doing the macro work, but the realm of agroecology is doing both at the same time. Both at the same time.
It seems very unusual to be thinking about it that way. Like we just aren't connecting enough. I love your analogy about the hand and the foot and how we are really connected, but we may not appreciate that, or we can't live without each other. I love that. I mean, I'm going to keep thinking about that.
And there's a lot of programming around health and food as medicine and health benefits that your research, your administration of the research, and your spirituality work brings together, because people want to feel good physically, emotionally, and they want to do it in an educated way. I refuse to think that people just don't care about their lives. I don't think that's true at all. I think that they don't have enough information, they don't understand the tools, and they're not motivated by something that's real. Right? The reality is there's already been enough. And so I appreciate all of the work that we're doing, and I want to create this web of reciprocity for us to see that we're actually hanging in this web, and it's movable and it's agile to our needs. All right? Look at us. Yay!